Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Austin here, bringing you guys game number 2 of a dual cast series brought to you by myself and Tyler,
Yes.
who is xTyler73 here on YouTube. So this is a TVP series between Empire Koss, our blue Terran, spawning at the bottom right, up against SKMC, the red Protoss, at the top left. So even though MC is the Protoss president, as he's referred to, he is down 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, now I'd just like to talk about that last game briefly. I feel like MC was forced to play in a way that he did not want to play. He was kind of forced into going to this 4-gate because he didn't get to see the engineering bay that was put down at his natural to block that, and like that kind of put him far behind, so he felt like he needed to do something to catch back up. And after the 4-gate attempt didn't really work, he felt like he needed to take another expansion, like a natural as well as his third. And I just feel like this game might be trying to play more in control in his own style and how he actually wants to play this game.
Yeah, even looking at the map differences, I've seen a lot of macro TVPs on Ohana, which is our map for this game. So I personally predict this is going to go into the late game as long as nothing crazy happens, kind of like what happened in the last game with that whole engineering bay thing as you described. So Koss is doing the exact same thing as he did in the last game with the supply depot near his mineral line and his barracks in his base. So predictably, I think he's going to go for the fast CC again, and we'll have to see how MC reacts to that.
Yep, Koss definitely favoring the faster expansion. Now MC maybe might be thinking that there's a proxy barracks, but I imagine at this high level of play they're able to count SCVs and that kind of stuff.
I believe so. So it's really, since MC's just scouted, he's probably just waiting for confirmation of the command center. It looks like Koss is sending a scout out. I thought that was going to be the SCV to make the expand. MC also getting his cybernetics core in his base and his gateway. And now getting a pretty early second gas, I would say. Maybe he's going to go straight to Robo. But he has seen that command center, so we'll have to see if he throws down a Nexus of his own.
Yeah, that fast gas is very interesting. It could mean he's maybe going for... originally, I thought maybe he might be doing that naniwad type of gas style where he puts 2 probes in each, but instantly sending over the total of 3 in that gas, so who knows what he's going to be saving up for here.
Yeah, I mean, what comes to mind when you've got that early gas is either Robo or Stargate, the early tech options for Protoss player, but you don't really see too much Stargate in PvT at all. It's more viable in PvZ and sometimes with Phoenixes in PvP. So that would be very interesting if he decided to go that route. Not sure if he will or not. He's just banking up some gas, and we'll have to see.
MC did a long time ago really favor Phoenixes in PvT especially, and I mean that engineering bay did come down again to block this expansion. MC does of course get to scout it this time though and start hacking away at that.
Yes, there is an SCV at the third. I don't think it's going to do anything too dumb or even try to get an engineering bay at the third. That would be pretty troll of Koss, but I don't think MC is going to get a fast enough third for that to be a really viable option. So there is the bunker at the natural there for Koss. Though in the last game he was able to cover both attack paths with just a couple bunkers. This game, I'm not sure if he's going to bother getting one at the destructible rocks leading into his third or not. You see on Ohana, that's always an attack option for the aggressive player.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just taking a look back at Koss's base, it looks like he's following this up fairly standard, but he only has 1 gas. He hasn't shown any signs of wanting to get the second gas at his natural main or anything. Only getting 1 tech lab now, and what will he start right away? He doesn't have much gas. He only has 60 now. So it's going to be a while before he can get Stim or Combat Shield or a Marauder even.
Yeah, I don't think he's obviously not going to go for Concussive Shells because he just does not have enough gas as of yet to support Marauders right away. So he did actually get that reactor at his second racks, and I'm still interested to see what kind of an upgrade he's going to go for. That can often determine what kind of an opening a Terran player will go for. If he's getting the fast combat shields, he might want to put on some aggression, or if he's going for a sort of a stim timing with Marines and Marauders off 3 racks. And in MC's base, we do have his tech laid out for us, a robotics facility and a Twilight Council. We did see something of that sort in the last game, except he just went straight to Templar tech rather than Immortals Colossi.
Yeah, it looks like MC just wanted to use that gas to get a high amount of sentries early on, which is good on this map. It's somewhat like Shakir's Plateau, where you can block off this lower ramp down here with force fields relatively easily. And yeah, using that gas as well, also to go into Twilight Tech, as well as Robo, as well as a Dark Shrine recently just now.
Do see that's a very interesting choice. Often Terrans, even if they are able to scan the DTs, I've seen White Raw, the Master of Special Tactics, even some other players go for spread out DTs or Warp Prisms as MC's got now, just to kind of spread out their DTs, as I just said, and force scans in different locations. So if the Terran thinks, okay, that's where all his DTs are, scans in one location, there could be two in their natural and then two in their main. They waste one scan and then they're done for at the other base.
Yeah, and I mean, like, forcing one scan for one DT is huge, because like Kaos is hitting his mules pretty much right when he gets around the 50 energy, give or take a couple energy here.
Yeah, we do now have an obs chronoed out from MC that's just going to finish now, so he's going to get some scouting, I think, before jumping into the DT harass. He's got his Warp Prism moving out over, nothing loaded into it, so I think he's just going to go straight for Warp-ins rather than Warp-in DTs at his natural and then load them up. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal something. I'm not sure exactly why he'd do that. Maybe he just did not have the resources for it.
His DT shrine did just finish up, and he did load in 3 now. Looks like he's going for how much scan energy? There's 50 on the main one. Will he drop a mule, though? This could be a deciding factor of this game. And he drops a mule. Unfortunately for him, now the DTs are going to just go straight for SCVs. For the Tech Lab researching, the research does finish stim, but Combat Shield won't finish.
So there's also 40 energy and growing on the natural command center, but like I said, MC spreading out his DTs, Koss trying to likely force... Oh, there actually was a missile turret at the ramp, so Koss is going to be able to kill both DTs with a scan, and then just finish this end the harassment for MC.
So how many workers were killed there? It looks like 5, not a whole lot, but he did get the reactor on the starport as well as the tech lab on the barracks, and I believe that was the only tech lab that there is.
Yeah, so I mean, though he also denied some mining time, and I'm not sure if Cass actually pulled those workers to the natural or not. He forced 3 missile turrets, so I mean, I'd argue it's kind of even. Cass was able to hold that off fairly well without dropping the game, but he did lose a certain amount of technology mostly.
Yeah, he did hold that off fairly well, considering that he didn't have much energy at all. It does look like this Warp Prism on the right side will actually high-five a medevac full of Marines and Marauders. Maybe that medevac looks like it shift towards the third, but no third for MC. He got Blink. He's now getting, 1-1, as well as getting Colossus tech. He's looking to do some really strong 2-base timing, and he has a lot of tech.
However, Tyler, if you look at the upgrades, as we saw in the last game, Koss is going for his 2-1 right now. He already has his 1-0, so he does have something of an upgrade advantage, though in the last game he got his 1-1 right way before MC had started it, so it's not as huge the advantage as it was in the last game.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually that MC is actually going for this kind of build. He's going super tech heavy, but he doesn't have much units, or like has no sign of wanting to get a third base with this kind of push, and he's going to have some trouble defending against this drop with only some sentries.
So already 7 workers killed from the assault at the natural. He's dropping them again, so it seems like it's already paid for itself. Will they get the medevac? Yes. So that investment, I'm not sure if it really worked out for Koss. If we look at our units lost, have the resources is actually favoring MC. So I'm not sure if that did as much damage as Koss was hoping for.
Yeah, the Blink kind of caught him off guard there, I think, after seeing DTs and then coming out with Blink. And I mean, MC is just going like, he's meeting Koss in the production tab length of upgrades here. And yeah, just really going tech heavy. How many gateways is he now? 8 gateways. Really looking to do some super strong push here.
But the one critical thing, I think, if you look at Koss's production tab, he does have Vikings coming out. He did see the Colossus tech in the main with that medevac, so it wasn't all for naught. There's actually a DT at the third of Koss right before he can get that missile turret up. Not sure if MC's going to put that to use, though.
Yeah, it looked like MC wanted to use that DT to block the third, but it was slightly off from the command center, actually.
Yeah, I think it was on hold position or something. It didn't move when it was being attacked.
So MC now getting his third starting Templar Archives, but yeah, now he's got all the tech he needs. He's got Dark Shrine, Blink, Charge, Double Forge going. He's got Extended Thermal Lance almost done. He's got Colossus and Templar Archives as well almost done here. He's got a ton of tech off 2 base, and now he'll be able to hold on to his 3rd base pretty easily.
Yeah, he really just needs Stargate and Fleet Beacon, and he's got every tech option a Protoss player has in the game of StarCraft 2. So I think he's probably gonna force a first engage, try to put his Colossi to use before Koss can get too many Vikings, and then switch into Templar once he's really forced his opponent to invest heavily in Vikings, because there's already 5 Vikings on the field and 3 more coming, so that's going to be a total of 8 and possibly more. So Koss is really invested heavily, but once the Templar and Storm come out, he will have to jump right into Ghost Tech.
MC has a lot to defend against drops in his main base. He's got a lot of Stalkers and Charge Lots, almost more than you need, really, but he does not want any drops doing any damage while he's defending his 3rd with mainly just Zealots, Sentries, and Colossus. And he has the Watchtower, so that's he's got some nice map control here, and it looks like he's going to be moving out with the Warp Prism again on the right side, which will get caught by the site of the factory as well. Koss did see that, forcing the Warp Prism to move back now. And I mean, it's tough to say who's in the advantage here. I'd say it's pretty even.
I'd actually think that would be a very good diversionary tactic if MC used that War Prism to kind of pull Koss's forces into the... as you can see, he's pulling his Vikings over near the factory, so that would be pretty smart if he was trying to go for a push. He's not doing nothing of that sort, but we do see Koss. He just had his Ghost Academy finished, so he's seen this Templar tech. Maybe he's just predicting it, and he'll start making Ghosts as soon as he actually sees solid evidence of High Templar.
Now the High Templars do have enough energy for Storm. It looks like Koss is going to try to push around from the right side. Both players are pretty much maxed right now. And if Koss tries to push down this ramp over here on the 3rd, then he's going to be muted by some very deadly storms.
Yeah, there's 4 Ghosts on the way, but they will not make it here in time. So the question is Koss going to be patient and wait for them to group up? I don't think so. He's going to move in here for an engage. He just scanned, and now he's destroying these rocks here, leading into MC's 3rd base. Koss does have a really high Viking count, but if the storms are good enough, I think MC might be able to come out on top on this engage. Looks like Koss is going to try to pull back and group up with those Ghosts, however.
Koss's +3 attack is nearing completion here. I don't think he wanted to completely commit on a push without that +3 attack, as he does actually have an upgrade advantage slightly in this game here.
Yeah, MC is only now getting his 3-3. He is chronoing them out, but it will take a while. We even have Terran ship weapons level 2 on the way, so that will make a huge difference. These Vikings doing 15 damage versus the Colossi each, and if you do all the math, they'll literally be able to take out 1 Colossus per volley, all of them together. But there's only 2 Colossi on the field, so I definitely think he's heavily invested in Vikings for no real need. Getting that 2 ship weapons, not sure if that's necessary.
Yeah, there's only 2 Colossus. He definitely overproduced on the Vikings, but they will be able to take out the Colossus extremely quickly, so you have to keep that in mind. But the Templars have a ton of energy.
Even Warp Prism speed on the way here from MC, so he's putting that Robo Bay to use. I wonder if he'll get Observer speed afterwards, just to get truly everything in this game. We're only nearing the 20-minute mark, and both players just macroing intensively. We do have Koss getting his 4th and 5th bases, MC only getting his 4th, so if this game goes on, let's say 5 or 10 minutes longer, those extra resources could really kick in for Koss, but there might be an engage here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, both players want to be so careful with this, because this could be the deciding battle of the game. Both players are maxed, but they both want to just get the perfect position, not to commit to anything that will give them the worst. So both players are just choosing to expand right now, and MC does have a lot of High Templars in a Warp Prism on the right. He could use that to drop the Templar down to prevent them from being EMP'd. Let's see what happens here, though.
He does have the Greater Bank. It looks like they're going to push into each other. No, Koss pulling back. But, yeah, I mean, essentially, we're just waiting for this critical engage. And just before, I don't know if you noticed, when Koss was scanning and they were about to engage, he killed both. He saw MC's force, and MC accidentally moved an Observer into it, and the Observer died as well. It looks like Koss is going High Templar hunting here with this troop of Ghosts. They're going to run into cannons, though. Not the best engage here for Koss, because those added cannons.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely not the type of engage he wants. Look at that, just 4 of them firing away, even 2 more being added on the right-hand side. MC pulling back, waiting till he's comfortable. Decent storm there.
The warp prism is now coming in from the right-hand side, dropping, and oh, some really good storms do manage to go off there. I don't think Koss was ready for those storms, but now with all the Vikings landing here, does look like he's actually going to have a lot here. A ton of Marauders and Marines, but the reinforcements you have to keep in mind for MC could allow him to push back the army that is attacking.
It just comes down to who has the bigger bank at this point. It looks like MC does, but Koss has the bigger standing army. MC's just warping in charge lots. He is chronoing some of his buildings in his main. He does not want to lose this fort though, because Koss will have 2 bases up on him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, MC didn't even take the expansion over there on the left side. He will actually get some fairly nice storms on there, and with the blink able to push back these medevacs and actually managed to hold on there. But I mean, yeah, far behind on the economy now. And I mean, looking at the supply, it's actually in MC's favor. But
yeah, that's pretty surprising. He initially he lost that 4th, which is critical, but he got good reinforcement warp-ins, and he still has a fairly large bank considering the amount of bases Koss has up on him. He's even getting his shield upgrades at this point. He just got his 1 shield done.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that even though Koss has way more bases than MC, he actually has like 20 less SCVs, which is surprising. So, I mean, that's maybe why Koss had not as much of a bank as MC did, and that's what really kept MC in this game.
But still, if you look at MC's natural, he is largely oversaturated. He's only got something like 4 mineral patches and a full saturation worth of probes. So he's definitely got to get that 4th established as soon as possible. He's keeping some defensive high Templar there, I think.
If you look on the left-hand side, we do have a huge drop, but there's a group of Stalkers here with Blink. Focus down the main one with 4 Marauders. Getting this one now with 1 Marauder in it. 4 Marauders in that one, and the cannon will help to push this one back. Oh,
it looks like, is it going to run into the Stalkers or just die from the cannon? Koss didn't react, actually. It sat there for a second. That could have been maybe avoided if he was lucky.
Tough to say, though. MC did have a really nice spot there with his Observer and Blink Stalkers. And now the base does look like it fell there on the left-hand side. A lot of Archons now for MC, actually. He has 7. And
there are 5 ghosts on the field for Koss, so I think it's really dependent on if he can EMP the hell out of those Archons or not. There are 2 more morphing in, so MC is just going heavy charge one Archon with a couple Colossi just to kind of draw a lot of Vikings from Koss.
Yeah, quite the death ball here. MC does have a fairly large supply lead here. Storms, Colossus, Charge Lot, Archons, some Stalkers in there as well. I mean, it looks good for MC right now, I gotta say.
It all just comes down to micro, but in this case, there's a supply lead for MC. He is now storming, has his Archons doing some damage. He actually stormed his own Archons there, and some of them dissolving because of that. Looks like Koss might just marginally come out on top of this one.
How did that happen? Evening up the supply now.
I saw MC dropped 2 storms, and then he was pushing Koss back, and then so his Archons ran into the storms, and it seemed as though a lot of them died in that one cycle. So now there is an engage here. Defensive storm pushing the units of Koss back, Charge Lots running in, so it's still very, very close. Even though Koss was able to come out on top of that one, it is not decisive.
Yeah, both these players trading fairly evenly, and I mean, MC actually has a lot of High Templar now over by his 4th base, forced to put them into Archons though, as they didn't have enough energy for Storm. I mean, he's really just going a lot of Archons now and not favoring the Colossus anymore.
Yeah, I think it's harder for Koss to be able to get critical EMPs than just have his Vikings attack, so maybe MC's trying to draw on that extra micro. He does only have 3-1-3, so he hasn't bothered to get his 2 shields, and no Mothership or anything of that sort. You usually see that in the Super Protoss late game, so I was just wondering if he would try to go that route. I guess he just did not have the money for it, and it's too close for him to be able to grab one of those without any significant repercussions.
I don't know if you caught that there, but the Zealots of MC were dancing as they were taking some hits by the Marauders. I guess he feels like he's won this game, although, I mean, it's still, Koss could pull this off maybe. He is trying to repair this planetary fortress. Will it fall? No.
Still, again, the income tab 70 to 42, so fairly significant lead for MC. There's some very nice storms also there on the bio of Koss, just completely punishing all the Marauders. They just die in one hit from the Archons.
Yeah, the fourth base did actually fall. The repair was not enough. Koss has some reinforcements here from the bottom side, and with some good micro, he might actually be able to push this back.
But the supply difference is huge at this point and only getting bigger. I just don't know if Koss will have enough here. His supply's dwindling by the second.
It really comes down to storms at this point with such small army counts. MC doubling the supply, but most of that is just in workers. Cost down to 33 SCVs, but I mean, MC now is actually pushing it back, and well, there you have it. Wow.
That is the GG, ladies and gentlemen. So I didn't see that coming, truthfully. A lot of times the supplies were dead even, and they would just plummet even for MC in one engage. As you said, he had no reason to lose that engage with all the Archons. He had a strong force, well upgraded, well balanced, and it just thinned out out of nowhere.
Like 50 supply ahead. I don't even.
It's just a crazy back and forth game, I think. Like you emphasized, when Koss had the two bases up on his opponent, he just did not have the workers to support it. So even though MC was off of 3 mining bases with the natural getting mined out, he still was able to come out on top. Even if you look at his bank after that game, both players have a pretty nice bank of almost 2,000 resources.
Yeah, it really came down to the reinforcements there in those last few battles helping out. And this is such an epic series. I can't wait to get into the third game here. Be sure to click the annotations on the screen, guys.
So thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure casting alongside you, Tyler, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hooray.